Hey friends, I'm Otis Gibbs, and this is Billy Don Burns. He's going to share some stories about his friendship with Willie Nelson back in the 70s.
Well, the first time I met Willie, which Willie didn't remember this, but it was about 1974. BMI back then had their award shows at different hotels, like it was at the Sheraton Inn out on Harding Place and I-65 at that time. Jerry Reed and Mac Davis was like the two hot artists at that time. So I'm standing there watching. When Jerry'd walk through, there'd be like 50 people behind him, you know. And then Mac would walk through and there'd be 50 behind him, and I'm watching that, you know. And somebody's standing beside me, I turn around looking, it's Willie Nelson. And I was a big Willie fan. I bought his first 45 single. I was in like the 11th grade. Turn out the lights, the party's over. And that's the first time I met him. And nobody was even hanging around him, man. I mean, he was a very successful writer, but he hadn't really had a lot of recording success, you know. The second time I met him would have been with Hank Cochran, I reckon. But I got to know him, and he's done two of my songs. Well, yeah, you know the old actor Rip Torn? Yeah. Okay. I get hold of Willie, I want to play him a song, and he said, I'm in Santa Monica, and I said, I can be there on a plane, Willie, and he said, well, we're at a condo, and look for the bus, Willie's bus, Honeysuckle Rose, and he said, so we had a time set, and I get out there, and I see the bus, and I seen a guy walk on right before I did, and it was, and so it's just me and Willie and Rip Torn, and Willie passes the joint around like twice, and Rip just falls over, and Willie kind of laughs, said he's a drinker, you know. And I was on the bus about an hour. When I left, Rip was still on there. I did meet him. Willie introduced us, but he was still out when I left, man. Man, he was either rolling or smoking one, usually when I was around him, you know, which I always liked to smoke too, you know. But Hank Cochran, he was not a smoker, you know, but Willie damn sure was. Well, usually those guys would buy like a pound when they run on to what they liked, you know. And old Hoyt Exton, you know, he had a record company called Jeremiah Records, and he signed me and Dennis Weaver to that label, the actor. And it was after I left Hoyt, he was living in Montana, and he had a maid turn him in. He got busted with a pound of pot, and I wrote the governor of Montana over that deal. You know, if you had the money, you'd buy the good stuff when it was around, you know.
What should people know about Willie?
Man, he was nice to me, and he's so great, you know. Like I say, I became a fan of his. I remember when I went out and bought that single, my older brother, who turned out to be a preacher, he said to me, he said, I can't believe you like that son of a bitch. He can't sing. And I said, well, and I'd read a thing about Willie where he wrote songs, and I said, well, he's a great songwriter, and he wrote, you know, but by golly, he finally had, when he hit big, didn't he?
That's an understatement.
Yeah, I mean, really, that is an understatement. One time I went on his bus, I think it was in Fort Worth, because I was in a rent-a-car, and he wanted to play me a song. Him and Lou had just cut a song. It was on an album somewhere, because I finally found it, but it was so beautiful. I said, damn, Willie, I'd love to have a copy of that. And he took the cassette out, the only one he had, and gave it to me. And I rushed to the airport to catch a plane out of there and left it in the rent-a-car. But it was Highway 40, the jobs are gone, something like that. Something about his Blackbird. Beautiful song. It never got a lot of attention, but Willie give me that copy like that, you know. Just a really one of us, type guy. I'm a big Guy Clark fan, and but me and Guy, we didn't seem to gel that good, and one night I was at the Longhorn Steakhouse down on Lyle Avenue having a steak and with somebody, and Guy seen me and he said, "Man, I heard Willie's in town." And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "You know where he is?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Can you take me to him?" And I said, I looked at him for about 7 or 8 seconds because me and him there did get along really. And I said, "Yeah, I can, Guy." So they were in Hank's office, and we went up there and spent 30 or 40 minutes with Hank and Willie, just me and Guy and Hank and Willie. And then I took him back to the Longhorn, and I thought me and old Guy had really reached, because everything was cool. Next time I seen him, he was just like the old guy, so I don't know. But I was a big fan, but I didn't really like being around him, I met Waylon at Harlan's. He hung out there, and I always got in to see Waylon, and every time I'd go to play him a song, there'd be somebody there, like Jack Clement or all the big writers. There'd always be a big writer show up, and I'd get scared and back out, And thank God, old Hank Cochran, he got me in front of Willie, and I did. But and I knew all the Waylons. I knew his 3 kids from his first marriage. I never was around Shooter really, because Waylon hit really big. And about the time he did, I got a record deal in Canada, and I was up there for 3 or 4 years. But if I'd stop at a studio or somewhere, I'd always get in, and he was nice to me. And last time I did the Grand Ole Opry, Shooter called me and said, "Me and Mama's going to do the Opry Saturday night. We'd like for you to do it with us." And Shooter said, "I want you to do Is He the Writer, Is He Song?" And I said, "You got it, buddy." And I asked Shooter. He called me to tour with him, and like I said, I didn't really know him first time I toured with him, and he said, "You know why I called you to tour with me, don't you?" And I said, "Because I knew your mom and daddy." And he said, "No." He said, "My wife, Misty, is from Topeka, Kansas, and when she was 18 years old, she bought your album, Heroes, Friends, and Other Troubled Souls, and it changed her life." And he said, "She's been on my ass ever since I've been married to her to tour with you." And I said, I hadn't met Missy at the time. I said, "Shooter, I love your wife." And I do love both of them, man. They are such great people. I've been pretty fortunate, I mean, I had no hit records or nothing, but I've made a living, man, and what more can you ask for, right? If I died tonight, Otis, it was wonderful,
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Well,
I hope we're both around a long time.
I've already been around a long time, I tell you that.
If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, subscribe to my channel and tell me what your favorite Willie Nelson song is, and I'll put a link down below where you can find out more about Billy Don Burns. Much love to you.